loves, welcome to my channel and a different kind of video. I found myself evolving and just wanting to share a bit of that journey with you because I'm hoping that it might help someone. So last year, with setting up a new business and essentially running two, I found myself literally run into the ground. And to be honest, nobody really notices when you say you're tired and exhausted. Nobody really knows the extent of how you feel or how beat down you might be or what battles you might be dealing with internally. I think especially as mothers, we're good at just moving on to the next until we literally collapse in a heap. And I found myself really suffering with my health, literally burnt out. So I worked on getting new systems in place that would help me to readjust. I read this amazing book called Atomic Habits, and I thought I would talk to you about how it could be applied not just for your hair growth journey, because I know that's what my audience are predominantly interested in, but just addressing yourself as a holistic being. There were a few things in there that I found to be so profound, yet so simple, and I'm really working on building these things into my life. So I think the main theme of this book is actually getting systems in place and not being goal oriented, because if you have a goal and you don't immediately realize that goal, you might kind of convince yourself that, hey, this is not working. But when you fall in love with the process and the habits and the systems that you put in place, you will find yourself reaching your goals but also enjoying the journey, not waiting for your happiness and your arrival at some far off and distant place. One of my biggest frustrations is having great ideas and goals and just knowing I have the potential to fulfill them, but never really taking stock to journal, to plan, and schedule in a consistent and systematic manner. I found myself just running from one task to the next, keeping my head above water, really not even giving myself the space to, think about what my next move was or plan, because I was basically just surviving the day. I know that might sound strange, but maybe that resonates with somebody. So in order to make a change, I have really been working on doing a revamp in the systems in 3 areas of life. One is self-care. That includes my hair and body, and health. Because nobody is going to make that appointment for you. Nobody is going to watch what you eat. Nobody is going to take care of your cardiovascular. I noticed that, you just have to do it for yourself. I'm also working on getting a clear space, because clear space, clear head, and it's really hard to break habits of a lifetime to get things in ship shape, but I'm working on it. And of course, systems for looking ahead and allowing myself the actual time scheduled to plan on a regular basis. I'll give you an example of where goal orientation leads to a yo-yo effect. So it could be like your goal is to have a clean house. You work all week making messes here, there, and everywhere, and then you spend 6 hours on Saturday cleaning, and then you're like, oh, I've reached my goal, I'm gonna rest. And then you get back into your waste man habits, and then everything ends up being a total tip again. Or it could be that you reach your goal weight, and then you relax on your clean eating, and then you find yourself right back where you were. With regards to your hair, you could apply this also. You can know that the process for growing out hair involves deep conditioning, gentle handling, Ayurvedic herbs and oils, and just literally rinse and repeat. Not waiting for the goal to happen overnight, but just actually trusting the process and the system. Keep going at it despite your results not coming straight away. One of the things that Atomic Habits talks about is crossing a critical threshold. So let's say you have an ice cube and you want that ice cube to melt, and the room is currently 26 degrees, but it needs to reach 33 degrees in order to melt. You don't know that that is the temperature it needs to reach, But you start heating up the room and you realize that at 27 degrees, it's still an ice block. 28 degrees is still an ice block. 29, 31, 32 degrees. But suddenly at 33 degrees, at a 1 degree shift, it seemingly instantly starts to melt. But it's all the work that you put in beforehand to build up the potential required. Imagine complaining, hey, my genetics are not going to allow me to reach my fitness goals or that body shape or my hair growth goals. Imagine complaining in the lead up to that and saying, guess what, I could never get this ice cube to melt, or I can never reach my fitness goals, my genetics won't allow me, I won't reach those hair goals, my genetics won't allow me. Immediately you assume, hey, you tried it and this hair growth life is not for you because your genetics won't let you be great. And that lie holds you back in so many areas of life. Like you might think, hey, nobody in my family graduated, it's just not within my reach, I can't do it. But keep chipping away. I know this is a word for somebody because it really spoke to me, and I think everybody's spirit comes to that point at one struggle or another. So as far as your hair, remember, it is the systems that you put in place, i.e. Ayurvedic herbs, oil, deep condition, trim, and patience, that will essentially mean that you get to where you need to be. But enjoy the process, don't forget. The other thing that James Clear talks about in this amazing book, Atomic Habits, is making the process attractive, really rephrasing to yourself, okay? Because how many of us have been there where we've put off our wash days? We're like, oh, right, so I have to do a wash day. It's just gonna take ages. My arms are gonna hurt. I can't be bothered. Changing the phrasing of how you speak about it really helps. I get to do my hair today, as opposed to I have to. I get to carve out some time for me today to get this done, as opposed to I have to. Hey, I get to work out today, as opposed to I have to. I get to take control of my health and my fitness and break generational curses or break generational trends as far as diabetes and heart problems. I get to challenge that. That just makes it so much more exciting, so much more attractive, and you're more likely to stick with it, especially if you literally schedule and write down when you're going to do it. Instead of saying, I'm going to do my hair this week, I am going to do my hair on Wednesday evening after work. Schedule it. See the difference? So yeah, I hope you found this whole talk through useful. As I said, I have specific areas that I'm going to be continuing to build and try and make changes that stick, because I feel like there's nothing worse than looking back at your life on your deathbed and feeling like you never reached your potential, whether it be with relationships, as a mother, maybe it could have been, places that you wanted to travel, or knowledge that you wanted to build, or friendships that you wanted to build on, So I think there's nothing worse than the pain of regret. And I just loved some of the quotes in the book. I'm just gonna share a few. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. I'm really working on my systems, especially when it comes to parenting. We often do like business reviews and we look back on how we're doing in this area and that area, but how often do we review how we're doing as parents? It can be really challenging. It's a wonderful challenge to ask your kids, hey, how am I doing in this area? How are you feeling today? How did the way I spoke to you, how did that make you feel? And even as far as like organization, kids have so many different clubs and things to be on top of, and you can find yourself literally lost and with no compass. So I'm working on my systems so that I can get the best out of my relationship with my kids and get them to reach their best selves as well. One of my favorite quotes from the Atomic Habits book that I use to try and keep myself motivated is, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So that is my motivation to keep building on systems. I hope you found this video to be useful. If you did, please comment below. It's kind of different to my usual content, but yeah, it's just something that I'm going through a stage in a journey, and I just wanted to share what was real. Okay, much love, and be sure to stick around, check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.